I've been reflecting on how powerful the Enneagram is for identifying our specific growth path. So, for example, I was thinking about a 4 that I'm working with, an 8 that I'm working with, and a 2 that I'm working with. And all three of them are kind of walling themselves off from really allowing love in. And they have distinct stories around this, and then they have distinct growth paths around allowing the love in. For example, 4s tend to never be satisfied, and there's a lot of criticism going towards the people that they love. In order to really allow the love in, 4s describe having kind of almost this wall where they don't let the love in, because that vulnerability feels like too much, because then they're really being seen and it puts them in contact with their shame. And so it's a lot easier to just be really critical about how the relationship is missing something or they're not being attuned to. So for the 4, what their growth path is being able to show up with a sense of equanimity, no matter what's arising in that relationship. This is given that the relationship has a certain degree of health as a foundation, but that they're really able to show up and love the other person. And that actually paradoxically turns into a way that they are allowing the love in and letting that wall down. So letting the vulnerability show up through genuinely loving the other person, even if the other person is not perfectly attuning to them. And so for an 8, the 8s have a story of nobody ever had my back. And so for them, they want to learn how to have their own back. Often 8s think that they're having their own back, but really what they're doing is they're walling off. So having their own back, knowing that they can trust themselves and let other people in and show their vulnerability. And because they have their own back, they can let themselves do that and soften. And then for 2s who are doing so much work out here trying to make sure that everybody is okay so that they can finally be okay once everyone else is okay, they need to come back in, spend that time alone, which can feel really desolate, but really come into themselves and come into loving themselves so that they can genuinely show up for themselves and others and stop overfunctioning. The Enneagram points out these different fixations, these different beliefs, and these different growth paths.